Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to Call Your DFS. For the DFS community, I hope you guys had a profitable night yesterday. I I think I got 3 times my buy-in back on a few of my lineups. However, for the like I did in the recap in my last video, the lineup for this channel did not do as well, and it's shown in that video. But that's neither here or now. So let's go ahead and move on with today's lineup. Uh, I got a bit of information for you guys. Boston could be a sneaky play if Isaiah Thomas plays. That can be a really sneaky play. Chicago can be a sneaky play. You know, especially if Isaiah Thomas don't play, that can be a real sneaky play. Boston at the power forward position could be a sneaky play, and when I say Boston at the power forward position, I mean Al Horford at the power forward position. Golden State can be a sneaky play. And you're probably wondering, why would I say Golden State could be a sneaky play at the power forward position? Well, the reason why I say that is because, one, Golden State is going up against Portland. Two, Portland is, I'm not saying they're bad, but this game could be a blowout. And if this game is a blowout, that means your bench players from Golden State will play, will get minutes. Now, a little bit more information you probably would want to know. At the small forward position, Golden State, Kevin Durant will be going up against Harkless for Portland. At the point guard position, this is where it gets interesting. At the point guard position, Golden State, Klay Thompson will be paired up defensively to go up against Lillard, Portland. Yeah. I'll touch down on that later. Shooting guard, you have Curry at Golden State for going up against Portland, CJ McCollum. Power forward position, you have Draymond Green for Golden State going up against Vonleh for Portland. At small forward position, you have Oladipo for OKC going up against Ariza for Houston. Pause. Take in consideration. At shooting guard, you have Harden versus Robertson for OKC. Again, pause, take in consideration. And for power forward, you have Anderson for Houston going up against OKC Gibson. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I see a lot of value in this game. I do. I'm going to try for the channel to construct a somewhat perfect lineup. I'm not going to give you everything. I gave you a lot of information. I gave you a lot of sneaky options, but I'm not going to give you my lineups, my alternate lineups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to create the perfect lineup for the channel. Now, let's touch down on the center position. On my paperwork, on my cheat sheet, on the numbers I've crunched, the number one team to attack at center is Houston. So that's OKC. You need somebody from OKC to attack Houston at the center position. Now, that OKC, you have Steven Adams. I don't like Steven Adams this year. This whole season has been just up and down, mostly down for him. And honestly, he hasn't recovered from last season. I mean, yeah, I loved him last season. I mean, this guy was coming out with his pirate look and killing shit. But he was never fully healed. He never really recovered from that season. So I'm gonna say fade him. Now I'm gonna say fade him for the channel. I'm not gonna fade him completely. I'm gonna have lineups with him in it. I'm gonna dib and dab here and there, but I'm not gonna, for the channel, I'm not gonna play him. The guy I am going to play, which is a sneaky play that I gave you guys earlier, Golden State, center, McGee. The reason why I'm getting McGee simply because McGee can cross over into that power forward position. Now, when you think about the power forward position on data that I collected, Portland is weak at the power forward position. They rank number 3 on tonight's slate. So to attack Portland at the power forward position would be a great pick. Now, here's the thing. You're probably thinking, why not Pachula? Why McGee? Why not Pachula? I'm not saying Pachula won't do what he needs to do. I think he will. He would actually play some great ball. However, here's the thing, man. McGee in limited minutes, he can produce. He can really produce. He can score. He can shoot. He can rebound. He can produce. I'm not saying Pachula can't do that. Pachula can do it as well. He's just not as efficient as McGee to me. Now, I think, and going back to my little cheat sheet here, you see the arrangement, defensive arrangements for Portland to Golden State. I don't see. I predict this game to be a blowout. Pretty much, I predict this game to be a blowout. So what that means is I think there's going to be a lot of minutes opened up for McGee, and I think he's going to do well. So McGee, I'm going to play him. This is his first game. This is Golden State's first playoff game, right? Or since we started the playoffs. So I think McGee is going to actually go out there and put it all out. They're going to play some of their bench players a lot more, and they're going to do it. I think this game is going to be a blowout. I think McGee is going to get minutes. Boom, there. Now at the power forward position. All right, so on my cheat sheet, like I said, Boston would be a sneaky play. However, that Boston sneaky play would be someone you get with Al Horford. He's going to cross over into that power forward position. Now, the next play, the number one play to get for power forward would be Portland. Portland would be the number one position to get or grab to attack Golden State at the power forward position. Now, I think this game might be a blowout. If it's a blowout, guess what? Finally, I think he's going to get minutes. Ed Davis is out. I think Aminu, he's going to do good. I think he's going to get minutes. But for right now, I'm just going to stick with Vonleh. I'm going to go against Golden State. I'm going to stick with Vonleh. And speaking on Golden State, here's the thing, man. Golden State, you got Durant back. So what that means is your number one, your leading fantasy projected player is going to be Durant. Your number two fantasy player is going to be, and it's going to be an up and down mix, but for right now, I'm just going to say Curry. Your number three, it's going to be Draymond Green. Your number two is going to be Klay Thompson. However, I don't see Klay Thompson doing too well. I'm not saying he's going to just suck, but if this game is a blowout and they choose to sit Klay, I think he's going to end the game with 30 fantasy points or maybe 35. I don't see him going past 35. But like I said, they're driving you to pick the Golden State players, which could be a good pick. Golden State might want to go out there and just, because Portland has been doing a lot of trash talking. So Golden State might want to go out there and just prove something tonight. I know in a few of my lineups, I'm going to have Golden State players. So, like I said, this is a template I'm giving you guys. This is me giving you guys information or tips on how to approach a GPP or daily fantasy sports. This is me giving you that little bit of information. All right, so I'm going with Vonleh. My second player to get, now looking at my paperwork, it says Houston is at the power forward position, should do well against OKC. Now at Houston, and we're going to highlight these guys. All right, so starting for the power forward position would be Gibson, which could be a great play simply because we all know Cantor doesn't play too much defense. So if Gibson starts at power forward, Anderson is going to be starting at power forward for Houston. Anderson may or may not have a difficult time with his outside shot against Gibson. Now, here's the thing: we don't have any knowledge on his gameplay against Gibson for this season, so we don't know what's going to happen. It could be beneficial to get Anderson, or it could not be. However, wherever the situation is, I believe Cantor, he's on my radar. Just giving you guys a heads up. I'm not going to play him on this lineup, but he's on my radar. I believe Cantor will be a very valuable play. But for sake of the lineup and roster construction, I'm gonna go with Gibson, since he's the number 2 guy on my on the data I collected. Now at the small forward position, I'm just gonna come out and say it, dude. It's up for grabs. You got Jimmy Butler, you got Kevin Durant. You don't have much after that. I mean, honestly, it is one of those things where you pick and choose. I'm pretty sure Butler and Durant are going to be heavily owned. I project them to be over 20% owned. Shit, probably over 30% owned. However, that's not what I'm going to go for tonight. Tonight, I'm going to go a little bit cheaper. Iguodala. He's on my radar. I'm telling you. He's on my radar. But for sake of roster construction, I'm going to go with Ariza and Aminu. Al Farouk. Now, I'm going to give you a reason why I'm going with Ariza. The reason why I'm going with Ariza is because, one, Ariza is going to be paired up against Oladipo. Oladipo, he is okay defensively, but at the same time, he would probably give Ariza enough room to shoot. And if you give Ariza enough room to shoot, he's going to shoot. And he's going to shoot it well. Now, that Ariza is actually a sneaky play, to be honest with you. He is one of those guys where, you plug him in, he may perform, he may not, depending on how long they keep Robertson on Harden. Because you got to keep in mind, Robertson is going to get fouls. He's going to foul the shit out of Harden. And when they see that Robertson is fouling the shit out of Harden, they're going to pull him off him, and they're probably going to put Oladipo on Harden. It really doesn't matter who's on Harden. Harden, I predict him doing 50 plus. I don't think he's going to cross over 60, but I predict him doing 50 plus. That's just me. So I'm going to go Ariza and Aminu. So right now we're looking at 9,200 and with salary. Okay. So for at the shooting guard position, hands down, I'm just going to get the best shooting guard on the list. You know who that is. That's Harden. I'll tell you why. They're going to put, and I already said it like literally less than a minute ago, but they're going to put Robertson on Harden. Robertson, he may get a steal here and there. He may. But here's the thing. They're going to put Robertson on Harden. Harden is going to, once he crosses past that three-point line, he's going to grab so many fucking fouls from Robertson, it's not going to be funny. Harden, if Harden was a fucking Pokemon, his Pokemon ability or power would be to draw fouls, to live at the free throw line. If Harden was a fucking Pokemon, his ability would be to draw fouls. And that's what Harden's going to do to Robertson. So Harden is my number one shooting guard to get. And I'm be honest with you, you're going to have a lot of different lineups with Harden, Westbrook, and you're probably going to have some lineups with Harden, Westbrook, and Durant. Keep in mind, Harden, Westbrook, and Durant. Those are some. It might be a good play for you. Just give me your heads up if you can construct it. So we're going to keep it moving. We got 8,200 to play with. The next player on my list, oh man, that's shooting guard. The next player on my list, I have Portland and I have Chicago. So what I have is, I have Golden State would be the number one team to attack at the shooting guard position. So you would have to pick a Portland shooting guard. And I have Boston, being the number two position to get or to attack at. So Chicago would be that team at that position to get. I don't care for what's going on with Chicago and Boston. I'm be honest with you, I don't. Only thing I care about is the whole point guard situation with Isaiah Thomas. But that's neither here and there or here and now right now. So let's go and focus on Portland and Golden State. All right, so at the shooting guard position, we have Curry paired up against C.J. McCollum. Now, here's what I think. I think it's going to be another situation. C.J. McCollum is not going to get too many fouls on Curry, but he's going to try to generate pressure on Curry, what that means is Curry assists are going to go up. Curry's rebounds are going to go up. His points might not be past 30 or whatnot, but and when I say points, I mean actual points, not fantasy points. But his Curry's assists and rebounds are going to go up. Now, that pressure that McCollum may or may not create, I don't think it's going to work out in their favor. However, I understand the whole mindset. But if I were to go with a shooting guard, I would say go with Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson going up against Damian Lillard, it's just going to be it's going to be a mess. But here's the thing about going with Klay Thompson. He is the last guy on the totem pole to get out the game if it blows out. So if the game blows out, Klay Thompson is probably going to play a good majority of the minutes with the bench players. So what that means is his fantasy value is going to go up. Now, Klay Thompson in the starting five, I don't see him doing too much now that Durant is back. I don't see him doing too much. Durant had a fucking month or so to sit. I don't know how long he fucking had. He had a long time to sit and rest and just practice and it was a strategy move. They were playing chess. So I don't see Klay Thompson doing too much on the floor with Durant. However, if the game blows out, I see Klay Thompson really doing damage. For sake of roster construction, I would say go with Klay. But for right now, we're gonna pause on that because there is one thing that I did overlook. McCollum and Lillard being somewhat hurt. They may or may not play. They're gonna play, but that's something to take in consideration. I collected the data. My data says that they will play, but just in case, because there was a situation last season with McCollum where I had him to play and he didn't play because the team didn't have him listed as an active player. I mean, he was doing warm-up shots. He was playing around with the ball, doing finger rolls and shit. He was dribbling cross. He was doing everything. I'm thinking, yeah, this dude's finna ball out. And because they did not have him listed as an active player to play, which he was even surprised about the shit. He didn't play. So monitor that. I'm not saying that they won't play. I'm just saying monitor it. But for sake of roster construction, we're going to go to our roof. We all know I like to build a house from ground up. We started with our center. We built up. We got Harden. Guess who else we're going to get? Mr. King of the triple-double. We're going to get Westbrook. And the reason why we're going to get Westbrook is because, one, he wants to prove he's the number one candidate for MVP. And what better way to prove that than to go up against the number two candidate for MVP? So, what we did just now is we rostered Westbrook, we rostered Harden, and we got $5,600 to play with. So at the point guard position, and this is where you need to monitor who's going to play, who's not going to play, because I can tell you right now, if Isaiah Thomas does not play, Rondo will go off. Rondo will go off. Now, if Isaiah Thomas do play, Rondo, I'm not saying he won't go off. I'm just saying that you got to watch out. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if he's going to get the ball stolen from him. You don't know if that Isaiah Thomas is a hard guy to really guard because of his size, but at the same time, his size makes him a lot sneakier and stealthier, or he can steal the ball from Rondo. Rondo is not known for having the ball not stolen from him. So I think Rondo will be a great play to pick if Isaiah Thomas does not play. Now, like I said, Boston and Chicago are sneaky plays. Rondo and the next guy that falls in line is Marcus Smart. Take it for what it's worth. Marcus Smart is, I think, one of the guys that would go overlook because they're going to want to pick individuals like Curry, Isaiah Thomas, Damian Lillard. so on and so forth. They're going to pick those guys. So Smart might be overlooked. He can be a really good, valuable play. Let's take a look at our shooting guards. Let's finish our roster at shooting guard. Hands down, Avery Bradley. I don't even need to look much further. I'll be honest with you, Klay Thompson, he is worth getting, but sake of roster construction, I'm going to go with Avery Bradley. Hands down. So it gives you 5,400 to play with. So, being that we built up, we kind of took shortcuts and we plugged and played with Harden and Westbrook, but we built up. We now have $5,400 to get someone. Marcus Smart falls on that list for me. Now, $300 left. I mean, you could play with it how you want. Again, like I said, this is a template. This is an idea that I'm giving you. The information that I'm giving you is to help you better as a DFS player. I do have core 4 players. I gave you a few of my sneaky plays today. Al Horford at the power 4 position. McGee at the center position. Boston at the point guard position. Chicago at the point guard position. I gave you some sneaky plays. I gave you some real good sneaky plays. I have a few guys that I did not list on here that's on my radar. Again, like I said, you know, that type of information, you donate, you email me. I will email you some core 4 players that you cannot miss with. But as for my channel, I create lineups. I give you a template to go with, an idea to follow through with when you already built your lineup, in case you're second guessing players or you're questioning your picks. I mean, if you want to pick my lineup and use it, go right ahead. I mean, I don't mind. It's not a big deal to me. However, again, these are non-premium lineups. So it may do good, it may not. I'm just having fun with the community and building my lineups and giving you this information, because the data that I collect, the numbers that I crunch, you got to understand. The men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Numbers don't lie. However, numbers can get fudged. The reason why they can get fudged, for example, prime example, Golden State. At the point guard position, they're going to have Klay Thompson go up against Portland, Damian Lillard, simply because they want McCollum to create some kind of pressure on Curry. I don't think it'll work, but that's an example that I'm giving you where the numbers fudge. So even though I collect this data and these numbers, and my data say, hey, you know what you should do? You should get Steven Adams at center. The numbers say you need to get him at center. He might not necessarily play majority of the minutes at center. They might just give it to Cantor and keep Gibson at power forward. You get what I'm saying? So the numbers do fudge. There are going to be times where the numbers fudge. But for the most part, I'm giving you a lot of insight, a lot of sneaky options, a lot of sneaky plays for you to roll with and go with. Now, it's 11:18. If you're going to play in the early lineup, you got, 2 hours, less than 2 hours to get your lineup in. The main slate starts at 3:30, I believe. This is the lineup for the channel. Like I said, if you like what I did, like, comment, subscribe, donate. If you want core 4 players, donate, email me. I'll email you out some core 4 players to roll with, or teams to. I really don't like doing stacks, but I'll email you some stacks to go with or whatever. So yeah, man, that's it, man. Like I hope you guys win a lot of money. I mean, a lot of fucking money. I want you guys to take down the Sharks. I hate fucking going up against people who put in 150 fucking lineups. I hate that shit. But those are the Sharks. Those are the guys that have a lot of money, and they're willing to pay $500-$600 in entry fees just so they can win $2,000. You know, so that's the mind state. You gotta respect it. I don't like it too much, but it is what it is. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.